knew we had to go seamlessly portrait to landscape, and we wanted it to be full screen video, because a lot of video on your phone isn't full screen video today because it hasn't been shot for the right aspect ratio.
It's intimate, it's immersive, and it's captivating. And I think people are going to be surprised that it's actually just different.
Are you aiming at the younger market?
Well, our target audience is 18 to 44. The bullseye for the creative is 25 to 35. So yes, it's a millennial audience.
Who do you consider your rivals to be? Because you've got the long-form content streaming services like Netflix and Amazon, who are obviously competing against each other. Do you think of them as competitors, or do you hope that people will also subscribe to a second service to provide this short-form content?
We're actually not competing with anybody. We're going into a new place, a new white space. We don't imagine that anybody is going to watch less TV, that they're going to have less streaming services because of what we're doing. If anything, we accelerate the experience of watching short form on your mobile device today. So YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. We're probably more playing in their world than we are in the others, and we think really more we accelerate growth in that world as opposed to taking market share away from somebody.
Sure, right. but they're free and you're charging, so that's going to be a tough sell.
Well, not when you see the
quality of the shows.
Well, you've already seen
and the immersive experience.
Yeah, and you've seen the technology and therefore the way in which it's being delivered. But listen, there's no question, no one's done this before. You know, in the words of Captain Kirk, we are going where no one's gone before.
This is called the Cyrcle Phone. It's a different kind of smartphone. This is just a prototype, but you will be able to make phone calls, and obviously, very importantly, you'll be able to take selfies. I've got the owner here, Christina. Now tell me about the Cyrcle Phone.
So the Cyrcle Phone is for people looking for something different. Rectangles have served us for years and years, but we're looking for something that fits better in the hand and also something that fits better in the pockets.
How many tests have you done on this to make sure that it fits in pocket?
So would you like to test it right now?
Sure. All right, here's the moment of truth. It fits?
Stick out of your pocket.
It doesn't. Will traditional iOS or Android work on the Cyrcle Phone?
That's a great question. So what we need to do as a team is actually modify the system UI just slightly so that apps actually open up within the circular interface. Right now they're opening up as a square, including the circular interface, not within the circular interface.
The Cyrcle Phone doesn't have one, but it has two. Has two headphone jacks. Why two?
So we noticed that Gen Z and millennials were actually buying up headphone jack splitters. And it was really convenient for me to actually put on not just one headphone jack, but two headphone jacks on the design.
How much of what we're seeing now will be what is part of the final product?
So you will see an edge on one side. A lot of our users were asking where the top was and where the bottom was, and the edge really helps with that. And on the top, we will have to build around the camera because we love this 13 megapixel camera.
If you find brushing your teeth a bit of a pain, and this French firm thinks they've got the answer, this is the Y brush, and the firm says you can brush your teeth using it in 10 seconds. Sounds like a good time saver, so I'm going to give it a go. In your mouth, I'm going to bite down on it, and I press these buttons. There's 3 settings. Apparently the third one's quite intense. I don't think I'm quite there yet, so I'm going to try the second one, and then I'm just going to sort of chew on it for 10 seconds, and then apparently I'll have clean teeth. So, wish me luck. Here we go. Alright, done. Alright, one. Intense. It times itself out. My teeth actually do feel a bit cleaner. Let me bring in the inventor that's behind us. Please come and join me. This is Benjamin Cohen, who is from Y-Brush. Hello. I guess the first question I have to ask is, what's wrong with a normal toothbrush?
The problem with normal toothbrush is that people don't brush their teeth for 2 minutes. Usually they brush their teeth for 40 or 50 seconds.
How often do you have to replace the actual brush bit?
You have to replace the actual brush every 6 months.
But who do you consider to be your rivals? I mean, there's smart toothbrushes here, there's toothbrushes with sort of gaming apps attached, aren't there? Do you see those as being a rival to your business?
No, because they want you to go to the 2 minutes. We don't want to go to the 2 minutes. We want to go only to 10 seconds. Because in 2 minutes this is a chore. In 10 seconds this is like a game.
Yes, I know you've seen a folding laptop before, but I bet your laptop does not look like this. This is a prototype laptop that's all screen from chipmaker Intel. They're calling it Horseshoe Bend, and they weren't very keen on letting us get our hands on it.
We thought about what can you do with a very large foldable screen for PC uses. You know, it is a full notebook PC, so whether you want to work on this kind of screen or when it's in that laptop mode, so it's that kind of versatility that we think is really compelling for people and really drives us to kind of invent this type of experience.
You know, folding screens is something that all of the tech giants seem to be having teething problems with. Samsung found it difficult with its phone, Huawei delayed its folding phone as well, and here you've got something that's about, I don't know, 10 times the size of a folding phone. How are you managing the challenge of making this work?
You know, it's the hardest thing to get right is getting it all done together. So we've done invention on hinges. We've done invention on how, with our latest generation core platform, you get that full performance with all-day battery life at the same time. So really the trick has always been to bring it all together. And you've seen us do that with our partners where we'll do concept platforms and then we work deeply with them to bring it to market. And that's just years of commitment and investment that we've done to keep reinventing the PC.
So Lenovo has unveiled its roughly at the same time. Are you a bit annoyed that they've picked you to the post?
Actually, we've done this in deep collaboration with them. In fact, it's been that partnership with Lenovo over many years that's allowed that X1 Fold at a smaller screen size to come to market. And then we do the concept and invention, think through the next steps, and keep going.
I think lots of people are going to want to know when they might be able to buy one of these.
We see this kind of technology coming to market at this size over the next 2 or 3 years, but what's exciting is for this year you'll see many starting points of dual screen technology and these kinds of new innovative laptops come to market.
This is Stacy, and this is the Hydrofoiler XE1. It's an electric bike that you pedal on the water. As you pedal, the electric motor turns the propeller which pulls you forward, and the hydrofoils underneath act like aircraft wings and lift the whole thing out of the water.
1, 2, 3, pedal.
And as long as you pedal hard enough at the start, you can get the lift you need and you are sailing.
They said, do you want to go for a bike ride in Las Vegas? So I said, yeah, why not? They also said, do you want to go for a trip on Lake Las Vegas? Realised they meant at the same time. Ah!
And here's the problem.
Oh no! Oh!
Until you get the hang of it, there's quite a bit of this. And this. And this. And this. And this. The trick, apparently, is if you feel the bike start to overbalance, steer into the tilt, but lean the other way. Experienced riders can get up to 13 miles an hour. The battery gives you an hour of ride time, and the price is nearly £6,000. So if you buy one, practice, practice, practice.
So right now I'm at CES, but in just a moment I'm going to be in a video game. First, I have to get into position. Can you tell me what I'm doing in this game?
What it does is it can take a photo of anything, like a person, a drawing, or a real object, and turn that into a character, into a game or a story or any interactive media. It's really a very personalized interactive media experience.
And so, what is the point of this game? I'm seeing myself, there are mountains in the background, so I'm kind of dancing a little bit, I'm jumping. What is the objective of this game?
Well, this particular game is more kind of a demo scenario. It's a very simple fighting game. But what it's showing is all the potential of what I can make you as a game character to do whatever a game allows you to do.
In one of these game demos, it showed two of the characters going to battle. Is it possible for, say, me to put myself in there and then a friend of mine or a foe of mine to put themselves in there and I battle them?
Totally. Well, that's the whole point, right?
That's not always a good idea, though.
Well, it doesn't have to be battling. You could be doing something interesting together, but the whole idea is to let out everyone's creativity and make everything interactive.
This is a roll-down OLED screen from LG Display for those of us who don't want our TVs on show all the time. Now, technically, this is not a brand new idea. We saw something very similar a few years ago. There, the screen rolled up from the tabletop. The innovation here is rolls down from the ceiling. Seriously though, OLED technology is not only flexible like this, but it's also flexible in that you can do lots of things with it. So around here there are examples of transparent OLED screens too. Now, interestingly, although this is just a concept, that original roll-up screen that we saw a few years ago is going on sale this spring. The price is $60,000. The pitch is that if you have a really small living room, you can maximize the space by rolling the screen out of the way. Although if you're paying $60,000 for a screen, I suspect you don't have a small living room.